It's time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get right into Total War Warhammer 2, The Shadow and the Blade trailer. I am pumping for this one, boys and girls. Let's have a look at this.
The siege arc ship.
Oh, yes. Come on, let's have some good units now. Oh, mortars, okay, down for that. Now let's start Blade, looking like an absolute badass. Medusas, yep, thank you.
Or will arrogant pride end this miserable existence? Shut up, demon!
This is brilliant already.
Mouse, without me, we both die here.
What? Okay, Master Assassin?
Within your flesh is a power that
That's cool model. That is really cool.
hate is our gift to one another. Malice.
That's awesome. Scourge from the chariots, okay.
All things are possible.
Oh yes, boys. Death Master. Oh my god, yes, God, this is what I want. A fucking badass Skaven assassin. Oh my god, that is so cool. I love that knife in his tail, man. That is so cool. Oh, he's drunk. Oh, he's drunk the. Oh yes. That is so damn cool. Okay, I'm really hyped now. Jesus. CA, you've done it again. So, we've got our first looks at the new DLC, The Shadow and the Blade, and that trailer has just blown me away. Malice Darkblade's campaign is looking insane from what I've read. 2 starting locations choosing to start in Hag Grief, which of course is in Nagaroth, but we can obviously let that slide. But also you have a Black Ark expedition to the other side of the world, which I'm hoping is going to be in the Southlands, but that hasn't been confirmed yet, I don't think. His campaign mechanics of Drink of Worlds, which is really cool and unique, having to help Malekith for control of the Vortex if you want a recipe in return to keep the demon at bay. Tazarkan whispers obviously influence you to do unthinkable acts of slaughter and cruelty, part of a new mission system, but in return for powerful rewards. But moving on to new units and characters, we of course have Malice Darkblade, heavy armor, close quarters, who excels at dealing armor-piercing damage thanks to his warp sword of Cain. He rides his fat cold one into battle Spite, which is just so damn cool. Malice also has the ability to transform into a demon, Tazarkan. I mean, that is just insane. This ability refills his health. Oh my god. Augments his stats and significantly alters his abilities in battle. Man, I'm so hyped. I can't wait to know what that actually means in detail. So for Minor Lords, we got High Beastmasters, expert at bringing beasts and animals to their will, anti-large capabilities, making them powerful against armies that bring large units, so Lizardmen, better look out, but I'm so glad they've added a Lord that you can bring that has anti-large capabilities other than Marathi. For heroes, we got Masters with spear and shields. These heroes are capable of inflicting great damage to large targets. Oh, so they're like a cheap version, or they allow for different builds with different legendary lords. I can dig that. Capable of soaking up damage thanks to their high melee defense and guardian ability. That is insane. So that means if you take a, if they can take a cold one, I mean, I imagine they probably can't, but if they can, Malekith on a cold one and a Master is going to be so damn tanky with that physical resistance. Scourge runner chariots, these war machines tear across the battlefield looking to hunt down prey, equipped with harpoons. What the hell then? Are they going whaling or something? They are dedicated monster hunting units. Okay, this is going to shift the meta of Dark Elves without a doubt. I mean, these guys in the early skirmish game, I imagine are going to be so damn powerful. Blood Rack Medusa. Bound in pain, racked in serpentine bodies, it's a terrifying sight to behold on the battlefield. Best behind the front line with their powerful ranged attack to decimate foes. Okay, however, they can match their range skills with ruthless melee capabilities. God, who's ever writing this needs a raise. It's seriously cool, really well written. Granting them a useful hybrid role, causing also fear and terror. Man, I really wonder how much they're going to cost, because I hope they're less than a Hydra and a Black Dragon. Blood Rack Shrine. Propelled by dark magic, the Blood Rack Shrine grinds along the battlefield, inspiring allies and demoralizing foes with Aura of Agony and Aura of Adore abilities. This Medusa riding has a far greater vantage point on which to cast her Deadly Gaze. I can see this being one that's taken for a really strong frontline that will hold against races like Beastmen or Greenskin with those Aura abilities. So, moving on to Regiments of Renown, the Siren of Red Ruin, Blood Rack Medusa. The Siren of Red Ruin is Fear Incarnate. The Medusa calls upon a damaging Area of Effect ability which tears apart enemies around, making for a dangerous foe in close combat. Now, I'm getting Ark of Sotek vibes now. I guess we'll have to see how powerful this is because, of course, the Ark of Sotek, not too powerful. The Ravengers of Rakoth, Scourge Runner Chariot. Okay, I like hints to that legendary lord. Are Karl Charon's most elite Scourge Runner. First for New Quarry, this anti-large is armed with, oh no, barbed nets that slow. Okay, they don't stop, they just slow them. Enemy units increasing kill potential. That's going to be really good if it's anything like a Net of Amantok that can be used on a Sky unit for Dark Elves. That is going to be so damn good. Lastly, we have the Crows of Cain, Harpies. Wait, what? Harpies are always on the lookout for the next meal, and Crows of Cain are the most ravenous. Regen ability, okay, I like that, in exchange for damage. I don't like that. Increasing survivability, causing terror. Okay, I dig terror. Okay, so that could be really good if you keep them in the late game against factions like Beastmen and Skaven. Like, you know, or Greenskins. If you keep them in the late game and then bring them in at the end to cause that fear and terror, that could be so useful. So I can see what they're trying to do there with that unit. So, going on to Skaven, we have Deathmaster Snitch, Shadow Dealings. His agents are the most feared Rainbow Six Siege operatives in the world, capable of dealing actions against their rivals on the campaign map with 100% success rates. Actions include simple thefts of items and money, to spying, rebelling, assassination. The Deathmaster himself can burn down entire cities. I know somewhere in his lore, Deathmaster did definitely burn a city at some point. Greater Clan Contracts. Skaven leaders are forever seeking to backstab each other on the Council of 13. Well, we all know that's true. They approach Clan Eshin to do their dirty work. These clan contracts allow for Clan Eshin to receive money, food, and increased reputation with issuing clans, granting bonuses and reduced costs of the greater clan's specialized units. That does sound pretty cool. So moving on to units and characters, Deathmaster with unmatched stealth abilities and immense dueling prowess. I'm liking this already. He excels at fighting other characters, especially when they are vulnerable and have taken damage. Okay. Armed with Weeping Blades, he can reduce a target's armor by 50% on contact. Snitch also has Vanguard and Stalk, further commencing his roles as a foremost master of assassin of Skaven. I can't wait for some juicy Lord Snipe tactics. Also, who needs Spirit Leech? You know, who needs that spell when you got bloody Deathmaster? Master Assassins, obviously minor lords. Following Snitch, the Master Assassin excels at battling opposing characters in close combat, but can also rely on their ranged shuriken attacks to take enemies out from a distance. Okay, their wide range abilities such as Vanguard, Stalk, and Concealment Bombs make them lethal ambushes to commanders. Okay, so they're basically minor snitches. I mean, minor, you know, Deathmaster snitches. Okay, I like that. Eshin Sorcerers. Ooh, new law of stealth. This is going to be really cool. To support allies from the rear of the battlefield, new magic focusing on sneakiness, controlling the battlefield, meaning they can dictate the temp and flow in their advantage. You know what I've got? I've got the idea of putting 2 Hell Pits, Doom Flares, bloody putting them all in bloody Stalk and just going straight for a full-on rush with Rat Ogres. That to me sounds like a strat I need to try with this, because then of course you won't be shot by artillery, so I'm really excited to try that out. That sounds really cool. Eshin Triads. The most devoted apprentice assassins ascend to the rank of Triad. Well drilled and deadly, these warriors are versatile alternatives to the Clan Rats and Stormvermin. Okay, I like that. I like something different. Best utilised behind front lines at exploiting gaps and weakness in the enemy line. Armour is not the strongest, but they make up for it for Vanguard, Stalk abilities. Okay, I'm liking that because, you know, if they're a decent Vanguard unit with decent stats that can actually hold their ground, like Bugman's Rangers, for example, as a unit, you know, I will definitely dig that, and there's definitely some really cool strats you could do with them. Poison Wind Mortars. These mobile rat portable mortars are backed with a payload of poison wind globes that can be fired from a great distance, then globadiers, causing the enemy damage over time as they choke on warpstone gas. This unit excels at damaging a wide swathe of the enemy. Now, I'm really hoping these guys are going to be good because, of course, our previous, Iron Drakes, and fucking Warp Fire Throwers, they've all been, pretty mediocre. Rattling Gunners have a purpose. I can make Rattling Gunners work. I'm really interested to see if we can make these ones work because it's just like, well, what is the reason for taking these guys over artillery? If they're cheap, then there's definitely something to be said for them. But if they're going to be expensive, then we might have a bit of an issue. But we'll have to see. I'm looking forward to trying them out. Warp Grinder weapon teams. This is obviously a seller for the Skaven. Drilling into the ground and their enemies alike, Warp Grinder weapon teams rely on powerful active abilities creating devastating effects on the battlefield. Once they've tied down their enemies with tremor effects, their drills can pierce through the toughest of armors, providing the team can get in range. They can destroy settlement walls and stone asunder with scant regard for friend or foe. Now, if these guys are going to feel like a maybe sort of like, I don't know, like not a Black Hawk role, but maybe like they're like a sort of like, obviously they are good at dealing with high armored units. And I think that could be really good for the Skaven. Of course, you've got Doom Flayers and Doom Wheels that obviously have armor piercing. You also have Plague Monks that have armor piercing, but they've all got to get in. They've all got to get in combat as well with Stormvillain with halberds. They have armor piercing, but they've got to get into combat. So if these guys can be like a distance armor piercing unit, I can definitely see them being a viable choice. But we'll have to see. It's one of these ones that's going to be really interesting to find out how they play. So I guess we'll find out on the live stream tomorrow how good they are. Moving on to the Regiments of Renown, the Avalanche Mortar. These rare infernal devices can fire special airburst globes from a great distance that explode in mid-air and inflicting devastating armor-piercing damage upon all units unfortunately caught in their line of sight. So, from what I'm getting, is it a less ranged unit than standard ones, but it can hit air targets and do armor-piercing? That's what I'm getting from this, but maybe it doesn't hit air, maybe it just does armor-piercing damage. I'm not too sure about it. Still, armor-piercing damage, that does sound really good. Maybe this unit's going to be really good against dwarfs. Visgrin's Death Squad. They are the elite among their rank. Okay, are these like the Rainbow Six Siege sort of assassins? Because I hope they are. Among their rank. They excel at acts of espionage. Lightly armoured but highly mobile, this unit is capable of outputting great amounts of armour-piercing damage with their weeping blades, as well as making use of their combat agility to become hard for the enemy to hit in return. Now, these guys, to me, sound like skinks, but with actual dodge. So they're actually going to have, like, so cohort skinks, basically, where they have the armor piercing, but they can obviously dodge and actually survive. So if these guys are like a really high tier unit, they're like, obviously we have Plague Monks, but if these guys are like a much faster, more sort of sustainable Plague Monk unit, then I can definitely see them being used. Lastly, we have Ishkaz Triads. Following the teachings of Ishkaz Fastclaw, who was a Night Lord of Clan Eshin, deadly anti-large capabilities and have the ability to summon a decoy of themselves, making them deceiving for both the attacking and retreating. Now, these guys to me are going to be the best unit in the lore pack, and simply because they give the Skaven the opportunity to vanguard with all these new units, okay? The problem is, I was worried about all these new vanguard units because, of course, they're all subject to cavalry, charges and stuff like that. If you can have this unit in vanguard deployment with them, then you're laughing, because basically you can harass the enemy from a completely different flank, and if they send cavalry to you, you can just bring out the Ishkaz Triads, and obviously they can deal with them. And even especially having that bloody decoy ability, that's going to make them even more sustainable. So this, to me, in my opinion, is the best unit for the lore pack so far. I'm so excited to try out this DLC. There's so many cool units in here and so many strategies, especially with that new Law of Magic. I literally can't wait. We also got told the FLC, which for the Legendary Lord, which my friend predicted was going to be an old world race, which is a Bretonnia Legendary Lord called, oh my god, I don't want to try and pronounce this, Rapunzel de Lionesse. I probably butchered that to hell, but a Bretonnian Lord. I might actually make a separate video talking about her, but anyway, this has been my reaction to the Shadow and the Blade DLC. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you're excited about this DLC. Let me know if you're not excited about this DLC. Obviously, there's been a lot of mixed opinions about it. Has this sold the DLC for you? It definitely has for me, but obviously everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.